With hundreds of the most exciting games, Golden Nugget lets you live it up in your downtime on classic and exclusive slots only found on our online casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. Please play responsibly. 21 plus. Physically present in Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. One per new customer. Max reward of $77 in site credits that expire in 168 hours. See site for reward playthrough requirements and terms at goldennuggetcasino.com/welcome. Head over to oneskin.co and explore how their products can become your skin's new savior. For a limited time, our listeners can get 15% off OneSkin with our code RANDOM at oneskin.co. After your purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. We only have one body, one skin, and only you can choose to make it better. Age healthy with OneSkin.
I was not hireable. People said, oh, he's so funny, he's so great, but he was the Fonz.
He was the Fonz.
Club Random.
Thank you for saving that story for me. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And it's real.
It is real.
Wow.
Club Random.
Henry,
Yes.
are you really here?
No.
How you doing? Oh, wow.
I am sensational. It is a pleasure to see you.
Did they tell you it's airing on St. Patrick's Day?
No,
Oh,
I just
all
like
right.
color.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You always dress like that?
I dress in color, yeah. I do.
Well, I didn't expect you to wear a chadder like a Muslim woman in a...
No, I
Conservative.
tried that. It's just too damn hot in L.A.
And the socks I see are also...
I like socks.
Right.
These I got in Australia when I toured with my book.
Yes, let's get to the book. So let's do the plugs right
Did
away.
you? Well, all right. But did you read it?
Not yet.
Then that's for you.
Okay. Okay. But I heard great things about it.
Thank you.
This is the kind of book I get to read when the season ends, because during the season I
you
have
know
so
what
much. Yeah, I mean, to try to keep up with all the news and all the people and all their opinions.
Especially
and
today, as we
oh, for
record
fuck's
this.
sake. Yeah, and this is a memoir.
It is a memoir. It is my son, Max, who
Being
is our
Henry.
youngest child, said to me, Dad, you've got a lot of stories. You should tell your stories.
Right.
And I said, I can't really do that because I'm dyslexic. So I met a man named James, and I flew him out here. I didn't know I had to fly him out here and feed him 3 times a day.
Who is he?
He's a writer.
Oh, to help you with the book.
Yes, and we spoke for about 70 hours, and then we cobbled the book together.
So I tell you why I would never write a memoir, I
Why?
think. Because like I just read Streisand's,
Oh, yes,
which was awesome.
Yeah.
And I just read Woody Allen's,
Yes.
which is awesome.
right. Mine is not either that long or that controversial.
No, but here's what spooks me about it.
Okay.
When you write the memoir, and they're both 82, I think.
Right.
So funny, so similarities, because they both grew up in Brooklyn and
Right.
same age. When you write a memoir, it kind of is saying, I'm done with the living part of my
Not
life.
necessarily.
Well, I mean, very few
And that
people.
is to you, and I understand that makes you uncomfortable.
Well,
I'm still having a great time.
No, I know. But like when you read a book and the person is 82, you don't expect to turn to the last page and see, and read part 2 of this when I'm 115. You know,
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to write part 2 after
No,
82.
but
and
Bill-
I don't want to ever announce to myself or the world,
Right.
like, I'm writing the memoir. It means I'm kind of done. And again, you're not done. You're kind of peaking.
I'm having a great time.
Well,
I'm
also
having a
you're,
great time. Now, at the
you're
same
working
time,
a lot.
I do. And at the same time that this comes out in paperback, because if people found the hard copy a little heavy to carry on a plane, I now it is in a beautiful blue. The cover of the. I'm not kidding. It goes with everything. And
Why not the pants color for the book? You
and
saved that for the
Our
pants?
40th children's book is coming out a week before.
40th?
Yes.
You've written 40 children's books?
I have.
Well, of course, they're short. And there's only a few words in them because they're for fucking kids.
Well, you know what? You might want to
You
look
write
at
one
it.
in the afternoon. I'm kidding you.
I know you are, because that's you. You're funny. My daughter, Zoe, sends her best. She never misses a Friday night.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. I want to bring families together.
And you do.
And I do.
You do.
But okay, so being Henry, and then my plugs are I'm at the Orpheum Theater in Memphis, September 28th. This is stand-up, of course. Taft Theater in Cincinnati, the 29th.
Right.
November 1st and 2nd at the David Copperfield Theater at the MGM Grand in Lost Wages, Nevada. Do you ever get to Vegas?
I do. I get there about once a year, maybe once every 2 years.
What do you say we go together and hit the Spearmint Rhino?
Okay, so
Would
what I
you do that? Would you go to the Rhino with me?
I don't know what the Rhino is.
Oh, come on.
I've never been to a club.
Any
I only
kind of club?
I've never been to a club. That's not true.
All right.
There was a club years ago that every 20 minutes, moist, cold steam came down.
Yeah. I've been to places like
Okay,
that.
fine.
I was just at a restaurant in Miami that did that blew like fucking exactly what you described, like every 20 minutes. And we're having dinner, and it's like a disco in there. It's like loud as, and this is a restaurant.
And can I also say, Bill, that I don't drink, but that's only because I'm not good alcohol in my body. But I could not pay $1,500 for a small bottle of whatever it is.
I'll pay.
Okay.
I'll absolutely.
Okay.
First of all, you could. I'm sure you're very wealthy from.
No. It's not a matter of that I can't
know.
afford it.
No, but
it makes me crazy.
Well, if you don't even know what the Spearmint Rhino is, I'm hesitant to ask what my next question was, which was going to be, would you wear the Fonzie jacket?
No, because it's so hot in Las Vegas.
Not in the club.
But that jacket is in the Smithsonian.
You could. It's a strip club. You could give it to one of the dancers.
It's a strip club.
Yes.
I can't go.
Why?
Because my wife Stacy would not be happy with me in a strip club.
And that's where you and I are different.
See, because you're not married to Stacy.
I'm not married
at all.
Well, I mean,
have you ever been?
No, because if you're
married,
will
you ever?
Well, I mean, I'm punching 70 in the mouth. I think
you don't look 70.
Thanks. You don't look whatever
great.
You are either.
I'm 79.
That's amazing. You look better than me because you look, I would guess,
Bill, you look
early
great.
60s.
Thank you.
Well, I owe it all to
what?
The Spearmint Rhino. No. Look, we all have our...
Do you have a piece of that club?
No, but I've taken a few pieces out.
With you, yes. Very well. Good timing. I'm not kidding.
But, okay.
That was great.
No, thank you.
What is in that? What are you drinking?
Tequila.
All right.
Why?
Because, it's cloudy.
Doctor?
I'm drinking still water. It's not cloudy.
Doctor, maybe you can tell me what this cloudy sensation is in my urine.
Yeah.
There's clouds in my coffee, as Carly Simon said.
Yeah.
But no, I've never been married because I'm just not the kind of man who can be told where to go and where not to go. And some guys, I'm not criticizing that. We're all just individuals and different.
No,
but
listen, I admire that you know that about yourself.
I'm a lone wolf, and I the tiger. Like I have to, stay. I'm like Willem Dafoe in Platoon, where he's like, no, I can get there faster on my own.
Right.
I got to travel light.
Right.
I mean, some people are like that. I know other people I've known men who absolutely hate it if they get divorced or something and they're waking up alone.
Mm-hmm.
They really don't. They like to meet the day with a person next to them.
Right.
And even share a kiss, which I think is gross after sleep because of the breath and everything.
Yeah, but not everybody has bad breath in the morning.
Oh, please.
I have met some people who don't.
That's like saying my shit don't stink.
Is that true?
Well, no. No, I'm saying
yours does.
No, I'm just saying it's like say, one's shit doesn't stink.
Oh.
To say that somebody's breath.
I have experienced good breath in the morning.
Who are these women?
My wife.
That's why you married her?
That's one of the reasons.
Well, we all got a list.
No, there was a Barbara who just like never brushed, wouldn't talk to her again.
Is that really?
No,
Oh.
I made that up.
And how long have you been married?
46 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
still the breath is good.
That's so you were at the height of your fame when you got married, or
Yes.
were you,
I
what year
was a candle on her 4-year-old son's cake. The $6 Million Man and the Fonz. I was a candle on his cake, and we met in a clothing store.
Wow.
And I took her to see a movie in Westwood, our first date.
So you just met by happen chance?
I was there buying a jacket. I could afford the jacket.
So this was like a meet cute,
I think so. I asked
as
her.
they say in films.
I said, "Which one do you like better?" I held up 2 jackets. She said both, because I found out that she actually was the publicist for the store. It was the Jerry Magnin, very high-end boutique.
But you didn't ask her this question because you really wanted the answer so much as you were macking on her already, correct?
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
I didn't care what she said.
Right.
I just wanted to
You
meet this
saw her,
gorgeous
right.
redhead.
I see. Oh, redhead.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. And then it just, and how much?
Are you going to last this? You're not going to fall asleep?
Oh, sweetheart, you're adorable.
Yeah.
Am I going to
You've
last?
just put so much of several and drops.
Well,
in there.
that's not, there's no drugs in there. That's just a clean way of drinking soda.
Oh.
Instead of having chemicals.
Oh.
That's to iron out the tequila I just put in there.
Okay.
This will get you high, though. And I'm guessing this is not for you either.
No, I can't do
I appreciate you
that,
putting up with my terrible habits, Henry.
Yeah, but I'm very happy to be here.
Well,
and we're also in your fun room, and apparently you're having fun.
Fun room.
Yeah.
I am. I love that. That's I'm going to call it the fun room.
Well, look at it.
No, it is a fun room. You're right.
It is a wonderful place to have people over.
Yeah, and I do. And well before we built the cameras into the wall so we could do this, I was often sitting in this exact chair just talking to somebody. Unfortunately, they were not nearly as interesting as you half the time because
that
they were
is
just
so nice of you to say.
But it's true. Like I get to do what I always did in this room, but now, last week it was Quentin Tarantino, and the week before that it was, I don't know, it's such a great thing to be able to.
I had lunch with Mr. Tarantino in Israel 3 years ago. First time, I met him at Adam Sandler's wedding. He was there, and I saw him years later in Israel.
Well, he loves to take people and rehabilitate their careers. Not that yours needs rehabilitation.
I could use it. If he's watching,
anyone who's
I'm an actor.
I mean, if anybody's at 79 working, but like you have one of those careers that I would say, I'll probably leave a few people out who should go on this list, but there's a very short select list of people in television who the American audience has just said, we just keep wanting to see them. So put them in whatever. Michael Landon was one of those. Always had his Ted Danson is another one. But like always has something going on.
Yes.
Like they just...
Ted and I were on Paramount at the same time.
On?
Cheers. He was doing Cheers and I was doing Happy Days.
Oh, they were both Paramount shows? Wow. Different networks, though.
Different network.
Right. Oh, I remember when I was in college at Cornell, and it was not a happy experience.
I'm sorry.
Why? It was the passage of life.
Did you graduate?
Of course.
Yeah.
In 7 semesters, not 8.
Wow.
Ran out of money. I was a pot dealer. Not much has changed. Anyway, no, I don't deal it anymore. I deal with it.
Yes.
But happy. I was, a strange kid. I did not make friends.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in New Jersey.
In New Jersey. What town?
a little town called Rivervale. No one ever heard of it. One of those thousands of bedroom communities that were populated
York?
after the GI Bill. My parents bought their house for way less than what a car is
Right.
now,
That's
after
amazing,
World
isn't
War
it?
II. Oh yeah,
What things cost now.
yeah. I think the house was $24,000.
Yeah. It's amazing.
It couldn't get a
I
Honda.
caught my first house where I had my first conversation with Stacy. I got for $75,000 in Studio City.
75. You
$75,000
wow.
when in 1975ish.
Well, that must have been a shithole because, like, my first house, which is small, like as small as you can get, like starter house in the mid 80s was over 200. And that was like the lowest end of the market.
Right.
Um,
It was not. It was a wonderful little house in Studio City. Barbara Walters came and interviewed me there, and literally said, "You have no library. How can you live here with no library?" And I said, "Easily. I'm having a great time here."
I mean, she meant like a formal library.
I think so.
I mean, I'm certain you had bookshelves.
I had bookshelves.
Yeah, okay. That's what most people have. They don't have a full-on
Yeah.
library.
I thought that was weird.
Okay, so, and you now what? You live in a big baller mansion with a Shark
No.
Tank and all that shit?
You know what? I don't have a Shark Tank, but I watch it. But I do like the house we live in now is large enough so that our children and grandchildren can all come and be happy.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds like my perfect night too. But
We owned a house. Bill, I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No,
we owned a
please.
house in Bel Air that had too many rooms, and I couldn't go and use all of them. It made me crazy.
I never understand people who want giant houses. I mean, you want
I'm with you.
space.
I'm
But
with you.
like, I always call them the where's the gift shop house, because like you walk in and you want to say, where's the gift shop? Or kitchens that are bigger than this
Right.
fucking room.
Yes.
You know, and also you don't sleep well in
No.
a giant bedroom. The more womb-like
Yes,
your room is,
I agree.
you just want to be comfortable. People are such fucking
It's
pigs.
also very hard to cool a large bedroom.
Right. High ceilings, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I love our house.
but if I just can finish that thought.
You go right
about,
ahead.
Like, there
I
are
will not
very,
interrupt
there
you.
are, no, well, especially when I'm complimenting you, there are just not that many people who the American audience has said, you know, like, okay, we saw him on Fonzie, but now we want to see him again. And then there's, you know, Arrested Development,
Right.
and we still want to see him. And then Barry, you know, like they just want to follow you as they watch you age and you know, grow into a
All right, now
completely
can I
different
just
person.
say, I'm
But,
going to interrupt you
I mean,
now.
that's
I am very grateful.
you should.
I do
yeah.
not take that for
No,
granted.
you shouldn't.
and
It's rare.
I'm knocking on wood
Yeah.
right now.
It's rare, especially since you did one of the most Houdini-esque escapes that you can do in show business, which is get out of massive fame in a typecastable role.
Bill,
That's a Houdini-esque
that was
maneuver.
hard work.
Oh, I know.
That was
Yeah.
sometimes painful.
I'll bet.
I was not hireable. People said, oh, he's so funny, he's so great, but he was the Fonz.
He was the Fonz.
And I could not get hired. And one of those periods was when I started writing with Lynn Oliver, writing children's books, because I could not get hired. And a friend said, write books about your dyslexia for kids. I said, I can't do that because I'm dyslexic.
Oh, so you're dyslexic,
I
huh?
am very.
So that's probably you don't have a library. What point is it?
Reading was difficult.
No.
You know who
Yeah.
I like to read? Dan Silva. Daniel Silva writes thrillers about a man who is the head of the Mossad.
Oh.
Yeah.
After your laundry is set to permanent press, it's time to give Golden Nugget Online Casino a spin. With hundreds of the most exciting games, Golden Nugget lets you live it up in your downtime on classic and exclusive slots only found on our online casino. So take a load off while you wait for your load of laundry and say hello to your golden era. New players can get $77 instantly in casino site credits. All you have to do is sign up with code RANDOM and deposit just $7 to get $77 in casino site credits. Make any golden moment. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or in West Virginia, which makes total sense, visit www.1800gambler.net. Please play responsibly. 21 plus. Physically present in Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. One per new customer. Max reward of $77 in site credits that expire in 168 hours. See site for reward playthrough requirements and terms at goldennuggetcasino.com/welcome. Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin. Did you have a little too much fun in the sun this summer? UV rays can take a toll on your skin, leaving it dry, tired, and less vibrant. If you want to hit the undo button on UV-induced aging, say hello to OneSkin, your secret weapon against the summer's toll on your skin. OneSkin products are all powered by the revolutionary OS-01 peptide. This proprietary peptide is scientifically proven to reduce dysfunctional cells, which make you age. Their super young-looking scientists have shown that it can actually reverse the biological age of skin by several years. I use it every day and I'm turning 107 in January. But seriously, in a third-party 12-week clinical study, OS-01 Face was clinically proven to strengthen the skin barrier, improve skin health markers, and diminish visible signs of aging. Wrinkles were diminished in 87% of users. The other 13% are just screwed. Head over to oneskin.co and explore how their products can become your skin's new savior. For a limited time, our listeners can get 15% off OneSkin with our code RANDOM at oneskin.co. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. Get 15% off with the code RANDOM at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code RANDOM. After your purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. We only have one body, one skin, and only you can choose to make it better. Age healthy with OneSkin. This is the second time you mentioned Israel.
Yes.
So
That was the first time I ever went. I would not go to Israel. I was convinced if I stepped terra firma on Israel, I stepped off the plane onto the tarmac, a war would break out.
why?
I don't know why. It's a tick.
That's more than a tick.
Yeah.
That's psychotic.
Yeah, well, thank you.
What? I mean, why you stepping off the plane?
No, not me. Just
Just bad timing?
bad timing.
Well,
I wouldn't cause the war.
Oh, I see.
I would just be in the middle
I
of it.
thought they were like, fuck, the Fonz.
Hey,
it's on.
Henry's here.
Allahu Akbar, the Fonz.
Really?
This is the last
Oh,
straw.
my God.
The Fonz is in Israel. Now we have to get them into
Yeah.
the sea.
Yeah.
Oh.
What about their prime minister? Are we allowed to talk about that?
Of course, you can talk about anything. That's what I love about this.
I really think that he knows if, God forbid, he steps down or the war is over, he's in jail.
I mean, that's possible, and we hear that a lot. I mean, it's
I
interesting.
believe it to my core.
Yeah, well, you don't know what's, I mean, that could be the case. You don't know what's in a person's heart. Whether that's true or not, you can still be supportive of the decisions he's making, which I am.
Okay.
It's very naive, I think, that this could go any other way.
Right.
And any other country in the world would not be expected to act any differently. If you get attacked, you get to fight back. And the war doesn't end when you start fighting back, which they always want with Israel. You know, when somebody,
You know what? A lot of what you're saying is true. However,
all of it.
I think that there are parents, there are families that are hurting because the hostages are not.
Yes, and it's the
primary.
job of a statesman and a leader and a prime minister to think long term and not just short term. Like if they don't eliminate Hamas,
They're
then
not going to eliminate Hamas. Hamas is an idea, not a group of people.
that's a bullshit thing.
It's not bullshit.
Well, let me tell you something. They've said that for years. I just read, I think, Sam Harris on this, and he said it right.
I know Sam.
Okay, great.
I like
love
Sam.
Great. I'm
Yeah.
glad we both do.
Yeah.
And he said this thing we've heard a lot of times. You can't kill an idea. He said, well, we did after World War II.
Until now.
We did kill a lot of Japanese, and that was unfortunate.
Right.
But, I mean, if you do kill enough lunatics, and Japan was led by lunatics,
Right.
died of the last person and a lot of suicide bombing and all that. Very similar to what we see with radical Muslims.
Right.
Suicide bombing, cult of martyrdom.
Right.
Okay, so Japan became our good friend. So let's not pretend that you can't actually get to the root of this. It is difficult.
I'm not pretending.
No.
I truly believe
No,
that in
you will
this
not-
particular case,
You will not.
you don't think that all those people that are now homeless and their families are destroyed, you don't think that they are now
I think you have to make
Hamas
calculation.
again?
Of course, absolutely. That is going to happen. You are also
So
recruiting.
you want to kill every human being?
No. Is that what I said?
No, but I think it is what you were leading to.
No, it is certainly not what I'm leading to. What I'm saying
If we kill enough of them, we're going to end Hamas.
I didn't say that either.
I think you did.
No, I didn't. You
Okay.
said it.
You want to play it back?
Yeah, I
I
didn't.
didn't say that.
I didn't say
I
that.
did not say if you kill enough of them, the Hamas is
No,
over.
what I said was the idea that you can't kill an idea.
Oh, that's what I said.
Yeah, that's what I was objecting to.
Right.
And I was quoting Sam talking
Right.
about the fact that
You
after
know,
World War II,
we did not kill Nazism.
Yeah, we did.
Except for like a moment.
But-
It's
Ger-
back almost in every country.
back in a tiny fringe.
Oh.
I mean, if you expect perfection,
I don't expect a perfection.
Well, then it's a silly argument.
I believe. Well, that's not true.
Well,
but
it
I
is.
believe that we are going to experience another Kristallnacht, and could very well experience it here.
Well, there's a lot of anti-Semitism,
Ooh.
and that comes from people like Hamas.
Yeah, I see.
So, I mean, again, when you're a leader, you have to think long term.
Right.
If you don't know, they've prosecuted this war for 11 months, as we're recording this in September
Right.
of 2024. So they're at the final stage. They're in the South. Yes, there are probably still, I don't know, 80, 90 hostages left.
Right. 100.
It's horrible to think
Right.
of the situation they've been in, and if we can't get
So
them
in
out.
other words-
Again, if I could just finish.
Yes, go right ahead.
You have to think in terms of long-term and numbers. Like those 100 people, we wouldn't want anyone to die, but what if we let Hamas off the hook and then it gets worse and 10,000 die? That's how...
10,000...
Well, in the future. In other words, if they are able to stage more attacks.
I see. 10,000 more Israelis.
You've gone this far for 11 months.
Mm-hmm.
And my question to people who have this argument is always, do you know what's going on really underneath Gaza in all the tunnels and how close they are?
I do not know.
I don't either. But you know who does know? The Israeli Defense Force. Now, are they perfect? Absolutely not. But again, they're not the ones purposely killing civilians. They try not to kill civilians. If you can't understand that difference morally, then you're very morally confused.
Are you watching the same footage I'm watching?
You think they are trying to kill civilians?
I think that it is indiscriminate.
That's what war is.
Okay.
War becomes that. There is no war you can name that didn't. Sherman burned Atlanta to the ground, and it wasn't just the military people he was killing. It's a shame, but again, there's a very simple solution to this. Stop attacking Israel.
Right.
Jews used to know this.
Right. Okay.
Still love you.
I love you.
Okay.
I have
I'm
no
glad we can
judgment
talk.
about your point of view.
Great. And I not of yours.
I disagree a
Yeah.
little bit with what you're saying.
Yeah, that's
I
okay.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't think that the head of Israel at this moment is a soulful human being.
That may be true too. I didn't say he wasn't, and I didn't say
Right.
even that he might not be doing what you suggested he might be doing. What I was saying is, even if those things are true, it could also be true that this is the correct policy, which I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've gone 11 months to do this. Let's finish it while we're there.
Okay. How does it finish? Tell me that.
How does it finish?
Yes.
Is there a
What do you
is that
see?
you have extirpated enough of Hamas that some other entity can be brought in to rule that country?
Right.
Because that was always a coiled snake
Right.
right at the foot of Israel.
Right.
You can't live like that.
Right.
Okay? There's only one side in this who wants a two-state solution. That would be at least part of Israel. Maybe not everybody in Israel, but that they've certainly offered that many times. Hamas has been very plain. They do not want a two-state solution. They want a solution where all the Jews die. Again, Jews used to be kind of on the page that this is a bad thing. Again, we can disagree.
No, I think the Jews are on the page that it's a bad thing.
Well, you're okay. Let's just say I'm not even a Jew.
Right.
But let's just say you're more
But
equivocal about it than I am.
You are an atheist.
Yes.
That's right. Sure.
Yes. And I went and we made the movie Religulous. We spent 10 days in Israel,
Right.
in all over. I
Right.
mean, and it was fascinating and eye-opening, and I'm
Right.
so glad I did it.
Right.
And
Historic. I also find Israel to be one of the most delicious countries I've ever been to.
you're talking about Gal Gadot?
I'm talking about that great, delicious food
Oh,
that is
delicious
Israeli.
food. The
Delicious
Jews?
food. Yes.
Oh, I missed that.
You did.
I mean, I don't really remember the food. You know what I remember so
No.
vividly, and it was like, oh, such a memory. The last day we were filming in a place called Megiddo, which is where the Bible says the world will end. It was
Right.
the perfect place. It's a ruin to shoot this and do my final monologue.
Right.
And it was a long shoot day, and at the end we were all starving, and we went to a restaurant, and this is in Palestinian territory. And the bodyguards were very nervous going into this restaurant.
Right.
We're all starving.
Right.
And they spent an hour in there, an hour, before we could even just go into the restaurant.
Right.
And then when we got in there, they were happy to sell us the food, and we were happy to eat it. And it just made me think, politics.
Yeah.
You know, like you could make this work. It's not impossible.
No.
But some people don't want to, and mostly the people who haven't wanted to are people like Yasser Arafat
Mhm.
and other people,
Right.
dictators in the Arab world, and people who have their own reasons. I mean, the West Bank was in Jordan's control for 19 years, from 1948 to 1967. If it was so important to the Arab world to have a Palestinian state, why didn't Jordan do it? And why didn't the other ones demand they do it?
Why didn't they?
Because they want it as a problem that
they
they
wanted
can
it as a problem.
focus their citizens on, so
Wow.
they can go on and have brutal dictatorships.
Sounds kind of like our politics.
Not as worse. Ours is not quite that bad.
Not
We
bad.
could get there.
Yeah.
We definitely could get
Yeah.
there.
We only have 60 days.
Why, you expecting the worst in the election?
No, I don't. I am very optimistic about our country, and that most of the population has got to see that we live a pretty great life.
Oh, I'm so on that page. And it seems like to me also, for you, I don't know, but this is why I love doing this. I find out we can, in 90 minutes, cover like a whole lifetime when we should have been friends.
Yes.
Okay. My guess on you is that your judge, from seeing you publicly, is that your default setting is just very optimistic. I mean, you're just very...
I am very optimistic.
You just, and that's what people
I had
love
to
about
be.
it. It just, you exude it, and it's
You
very...
talked about my career, that I went from project to project, and there were droughts
Of course.
where I was distraught.
Right.
I was dismayed. And, you know, and then you get,
And still had optimism, you say?
I had optimism. I see myself as that toy, you know, you blew it up, and when I was growing up, there was a cowboy on it, and you punched it, it went down and came right back to center.
But you know what?
You know that toy?
I know vaguely of it. I don't know toys
A
too
Weeble
well.
Wobble?
I don't have kids. Never
Oh,
had
yeah,
kids, you
right.
know, so.
Right.
I mean, I can imagine.
It goes down and it comes right back to center.
I get the concept.
Yeah, that is the way I live my life.
Right. But I wish I could have been the ghost of me back then. Not that I would be a ghost, but younger, wiser me who didn't know this back then. But if I did, I would have told you and spared you this.
Yes.
Like, very often someone does a hit TV show.
Yes.
And they're famous from it, but they get typecast and then they never recover.
Yes.
The difference with the Fonz is all that was true. Hit TV show, famous for it, but the level of fame was on a rock star level. And
Until it wasn't.
Wait a second. It was on a rock star level, which is unlike those other in that category that I'm. Therefore, even though you wandered in the wilderness, the public, when you get to that level, is always going to want to come back to that.
Wow.
They're always going to want to come back to someone who was on a rock star level, whether it's Lindsay Lohan, whoever it fucking is.
Right.
When you get that high, you're kind of always guaranteed to come back.
Wow.
And so, but you gotta do the work.
You got to work for it.
Right.
Yeah. No.
But they do want to see you because it was so big.
Right.
And that's what the Fonz was. Like very, very few sitcom TV or TV characters in any way. I mean, when Quentin was there, I was saying, you're one of the few rock star directors. It's just not a category that has a lot of people in it.
Right. That is
and
true.
you were like a rock star sitcom.
Right.
You know, it almost isn't compatible.
Well,
but
I
you
love
know.
doing it. I love it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it all fucking.
It was great.
I mean, came out the right way.
Yeah.
I was going to say before, when I was in college at Cornell, I did not have much going on in my life.
Right.
Certainly no women.
Right. But
first
why is that? If you are you have a tremendous amount of charisma. So how is that possible? Did you just hide it? Were you scared?
Very painfully shy.
Right.
Like.
Well, you made up for that.
Of course I did.
Wow.
Right. But painfully shy, stupid.
You're not stupid.
I was, as we all are at 20.
Right.
Painfully stupid. I've talked about it here before. I thought whenever I couldn't get over with a girl, I thought, I'm not good looking enough. Now I look at pictures of myself. I was very good looking.
Right.
I had it completely backwards. My personality was the problem.
Right.
I thought that was perfect.
You thought your personality was perfect, but you were not good looking.
And it was the exact opposite. Yeah. Like, that's what I mean. Stupid shit like that.
Right.
So, and also there were very few
women
at Cornell.
One of my favorite phrases that I hate that is true is youth is wasted on the young.
Because?
I wish I knew then, as you just said, if I knew you, I could have saved you.
Right.
You did say that. It makes me crazy that we have to go through so many steps to find the wisdom.
And also that it's ridiculous that you gather it all, and then just when you have it all, then you're gonna die.
Yeah,
it's like it's such a waste that you.
I don't think it's a waste.
Well, that you collected all this in the brain, and then after all that collecting, it's useless because you're dead.
I do forget names now. My children do wear name tags.
No, they do not. You don't look like you don't present as old. You know, people either present as old or don't. Right. This was Biden's problem. He was almost the same age as Trump, but he presents as old.
Yes, he does.
You don't present as old. Right. So that joke does not land with you about name tags because it just
but here it is, Bill. Here's the truth. There are times when I cannot remember somebody I know. And it literally
You mean
kills
come up
me.
with the name?
I can't come up with the name. And I have to sound it out. And then I blurt it out it's in the car going home.
That's everybody all through your life. That didn't just start when you got a little older. I've always done
I
that.
knew my wife's name. I really did.
No, I mean, you have to forgive people when they do that because we've
do.
all done it. We've all had it done to us.
You know what I don't forgive? I don't forgive people who don't see you, who don't acknowledge your existence.
Man,
That kills me.
like, what is
Like people who brush you out of the way.
who does that to you?
Oh, there are people who have done that to me.
Name two.
The first time I met a man who's running for president at the time.
Who?
Well, Trump?
Trump.
Yes.
Brushed you out of the way.
I met him at a
I would consider it a compliment.
a ball at a big event, and he literally pushed me out of the way like the president or the premier.
Montenegro.
Yes, Montenegro. That should be shown every day, every hour.
Why?
Because I think it is the very definition of a soul.
Yeah, we already know that about him.
Okay.
I'm bored with that.
Okay.
I made all those. Nobody has been meaner
I want to
or
say
more.
your intake of whatever it is you're having.
What? I'm having two drinks. I had
drinks.
one and now I'm having another.
Yeah, with that. What does that do?
Jeez.
Make soda?
It makes
Those drips?
It's those drips. No, it's. I call it rhino juice. It's what we drink before we go to the club. We're going to the club later. No, it's just
What club do you go to here? Oh,
I don't go to. I don't go to any club
No.
here. That's
Oh, you
not the
don't?
kind of thing you do in LA.
No.
It's the kind of thing we're going to do in Vegas.
Yeah.
Which the wife doesn't have to know.
Yeah, well, she knows everything.
She knows everything.
It's amazing.
And you're okay with that?
Well, you know what I am?
It's like living in China.
No, not exactly. Not
Very
exactly.
similar.
I'm not kidding.
Surveillance state.
Yeah, I know. But no, I don't have to make little toys.
I know guys who, when the phone rings, they go, "Oh, it's the boss."
Yeah. But you know
They
what?
say it like, yeah, like, oh,
But
good.
you know what, though? No,
It
well,
gives
wait
you
a minute.
peace of mind. That's great.
It
Whatever.
not only gives you peace of mind, it is something
Hey.
that you have to establish is part of your life. The woman
But-
is the CEO of the Winkler life. Of my wife is the CEO of our life.
Woody Allen made a great movie called Whatever Works.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Larry David basically played the Woody Allen part,
Right.
and I thought it was one of the better.
I don't know that I saw it.
You never saw Whatever
I'm
Works?
not sure. I'm going to look for it, but I didn't see it.
You like Woody Allen,
I
don't you?
do.
Okay, great. I love him. That's one of his better.
Have you interviewed him?
No, but we are
You're
efforting
working
that.
on it?
He's not against it. He is a fan, and I'm
Okay.
a fan of his and
Yeah.
a defender.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm a fan.
oh, come on.
Oh, no, I'm not going to get into that.
Okay.
I am not going to get into that. I did, however, see that Mia Farrow is on Broadway.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's been many.
Listen, I just saw that yesterday. I thought I'd mention it. I like personally I like going to the theater a lot. It's one of my favorite things. As a matter of fact,
But
on
you're-
my bucket list is to get back to Broadway.
And yet you're heterosexual.
I am.
I know, married 46 years.
Yeah.
You want to get, oh my God, why do you want to go on Broadway?
But you know what, wait, Bill? Have you
know,
ever done it?
No, and I
But
never.
you do stand up.
Yeah, that's different.
No, it is not.
Well, I'll tell you how it's different.
Okay, tell me.
I don't have to memorize lines
But
exactly.
wait a minute, what are your jokes? Your evening is constructed.
It is. It's constructed. That's different than memorizing
No.
lines word for word.
No, it's
yes,
not true.
it is.
It is not true. It is not different.
Trust me, I know because I've done
If
both.
one word is out of line, your joke will fall on its face.
That's very true.
Thank you.
But as a comedian, they don't fall out of place. You're right. That can happen.
Because you know your stuff.
Yeah, but it's not this.
I wanna tell
it's
you,
not
it is
word for
thrilling.
word.
It's
You wa-
thrilling. But you know
I'm
what?
sure it's
Okay, I'm going to
thrilling,
tell you
but
something.
You're not
Here is-
worried, you don't get paranoid that you would go up on your lines.
I have. I have.
What could be worse?
Not being there.
Really?
Not being in that
And what
play.
happens when you forget your lines?
I'm able to improvise. So I get there somehow.
Wow.
Yeah,
You mean you just fumfer around?
I fumfer around. When my
Does the audience
audition
know
for the
this?
Yale Drama School.
Do they know the
No,
fumfering?
they don't.
The fumfering goes unnoticed.
Now, I will tell you, there's two things I want to tell you. One is, when you're on stage, yes, you say the same thing over and over again, but for the first 9 months, you are always discovering something new. You say something and it hits you. Oh my God, I have a whole other
Right.
vision of how to attack this scene. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I'm on stage with John Ritter, rest his soul. We're in a Neil Simon play. I did not do preparation. I didn't take my time to concentrate on what I was about to do. I walked on stage and for some reason, I burst out laughing. And I did not stop. And now John, and I have the first line of the play.
Is it a comedy?
I walk in on John in a dining room. And he now is walking me around the set, going, "You've got the first line. Come on, what are you doing?" Now he's slapping my back. And all I am doing, I cannot stop laughing.
What
was
year?
horrific.
What year did this?
2000.
Okay.
In 2000. And that play ran for 9 months.
So you did eventually get back on track.
I got back on track. But
And what did
until
what did you say to him after, or he to you?
I apologized to him.
Was he mad?
No, but I was disrespectful to the play,
But you weren't
to my
trying to
fellow
be.
actors.
You weren't trying to be.
I was not trying to be.
No.
I did not do a concentrated preparation of
But
get yourself
but that's a
together.
human error.
Yeah, but you know what? That's not an error you want to make.
Well, that's
I'm not allowed. I will not give that
yes,
to
and
myself.
of course you would say that, and that's why you are in this town like one of the very few people who is like everybody likes. I hear Harvey Levin talk about you all the time.
Harvey, I know Harvey for many years.
Oh, I love him.
He's been at my dinner table.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he loves you.
Yeah.
And you can tell, but you just have that reputation.
But my wife knew
But-
him before I did and introduced me to him, you know.
But okay, so you're doing the play 9 months.
Right.
9 months in, you discover how it really should be done. Do you feel bad about those audiences who came for the first 8
No,
months and they saw
because
the
I made
shitty
them
version?
laugh in a different
I'm
version.
I'm just
I did
fucking with
not.
you.
But I will say that you, when you're on the stage, we were in a theater that was the Music Box, which is a kind of a small,
Right.
more smaller theater. There were 1,000 people, and you can feel if an audience is with you,
Yes,
an audience wants to see,
of course.
an audience says, "Show me."
Or they're coughing when they're really bored.
You know what, Neil? This is how brilliant Neil Simon was. He watched every preview.
Mm.
If he heard somebody cough, he rewrote the scene so they had no time to cough.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
not kidding.
No, that's a great
he
story.
wrote
That's
the
awesome.
cough out.
Right. That's awesome. That's
It
so.
was unbelievable.
Thank you for saving that story for me. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And it's real.
It is real.
Wow.
I watched him. He knew every line, and that's one of the reasons I know about your timing and your presentation of whatever the monologue is that you're giving to the
But
audience.
stand up. Come on.
Nope, I'm sorry.
First,
So difficult.
Okay,
I don't
Henry,
think I could ever do it.
I love you, but don't argue with me about stand up
But I want
because
to.
I know it and you don't. I've done it.
But you keep on saying that. You're so
really,
definitive about
but
what people know and what they don't know.
Well, no, but in this
I
case,
say
I always just say,
instinctually I know
you can
something.
argue with me about anything except me. I know me. I know me. You don't know. I wouldn't argue about you with you.
I'm seeing a
Like if
different
you say
you
I like to kiss in
than
the
I have
morning, I'm like,
seen-
great. I
I'm
take
seeing
you
a
at your word
completely
because
different you
it's you.
than I have seen on TV.
Of course, that's why we do this.
Yeah.
But don't argue with me about me.
Why don't you let
I'm
some of
tell-
this humanity come out? Sometimes I think you don't listen
On TV?
on TV.
Oh, you're so wrong about
Am
that.
I?
I'm the only talk show host who does listen.
Oh my God.
I just listen to different people, some of whom you don't
But we're not in the room.
who you don't like because they don't agree with you.
No, that's not true.
Okay, maybe
That's
it's not.
true.
You're right.
I
I'm just-
admire that there are lots of people on your show I don't agree with,
Good.
but they are interesting to hear their points of view.
I do listen to everybody.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
I mean, I am never afraid of dead air. That's not that we have it, but that's the reason.
It's pretty lively. You know what is great? Is your interview with whoever it is in the chair before you get up to meet the panel.
Yes, the one-on-one.
Oh my God, those are great.
Thank you. I appreciate that because I feel like I don't get the credit I deserve as a one-on-one interviewer.
You know what? You don't need the credit because you live it.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
so
right
true.
there.
Oh,
How long have you been on that show? How long have you been on TV?
I'm going to embroider that
How
on
many
a
years?
pillow. I've been doing real time for 21 years.
Oh my God.
And politically incorrect for 9 years.
I was on that show.
I know. So
but here it is.
30 years.
30 years, you get the credit.
Oh, I do.
Because other people have fallen down and are left in the dust, and you're there for over 30 fucking years. Give me a break.
Yeah.
That's credit.
And it was always.
You know what? You just have to look at it differently.
Oh, I do look at it that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think that I hit a nerve, and I think that bothers you, not me, but that it bothers you that you think you don't get the credit. And I'm telling you, nobody survives 30 years, and that is the credit. That is an award.
Well, both things are true.
That is everything.
But as your new friend,
yeah,
let me tell you exactly what percent, because what we're talking about is what percentage of that bothers you. So if you say that bothers me, you're right. Now, if it's something I thought about every day, and some people do obsess like that, then I would say you have an issue. Club Random is brought to you by the audio marketing gurus at Radioactive Media. The Daily Grind is back. It's fall, people are back to work, and Halloween is right around the corner where you get to decide what costume you get canceled for. It's time to get serious about attracting new customers. So you should harness the power of audio and partner with shows like mine. The team at Radioactive Media will get your message out by driving you new customers using the power nationally on podcast, terrestrial, satellite, and streaming radio. Radioactive believes so much in the power of audio marketing, they put their money where their mouths are by using it themselves, right here, right now. Learn how you can experience the power of audio marketing by also utilizing the strength of text messaging, which can generate an ROI as high as 7 to 1. Once you reach out to Radioactive Media for a qualified proposal, you'll receive a copy of my new bestseller, What This Comedian Said Will Shock You. Don't fall behind your competition. Go to radioactivemedia.com or text the word RANDOM to 511-511. Discover how audio marketing can surpass your current strategies with new and innovative ways that sound better. Go to radioactivemedia.com or text RANDOM to 511-511. Text RANDOM to 511-511 today. Terms, conditions, message, and data rates may apply. What makes this podcast different, and there's a billion of them?
The room. The room is so fun.
The room.
Everybody should be in this room.
Like, we're not young.
We
don't have time to bullshit.
That is
so
true.
if you want to see two people, like get to know each other, like deeply, in a really short amount of time,
listen to this podcast.
This is it.
Okay.
Like we're doing.
Okay.
And it's exhilarating.
It is.
It's like there's sex and then there's mental ping pong. Those are the two most exciting things
one more thing
in the world, and I'm not going to have sex with you.
I have one. Thank you. No, really, because that would hurt. But can I just say?
Oh, you don't know the half of it.
Fly fishing for trout. I'm going fly fishing. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
All right. So you made me spit a little on that.
A spit take.
Yeah, but that was a spit dribble.
Yeah.
I didn't want to spit.
Yeah. You didn't think I was going there.
What about it?
Fly fishing?
What about it?
Oh, my God. The fish are majestic.
But why are you suddenly bringing it up?
Because that's another thing that is takes a great deal of passion and concentration.
But we weren't talking about it.
No, we were talking about wonderful things. You said sex.
Oh, okay. I mean,
I forgot what the other thing.
this is like how Kanye was. Like suddenly,
Kanye.
yeah, I mean, he was here. It was like suddenly
Like
we're talking
a
about
shoe.
Pete Davidson. It's like what? We were never talking.
Yeah.
Okay,
Did
fly
you interview
fishing.
Pete?
Fly. What?
Did you interview Pete?
No, I'd love to.
No. He seems lovely.
I'm sure he's a very sweet guy. He's got
The shoemaker I have trouble with.
the shoemaker.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Kanye.
Oh, the shoemaker. What's that?
Doesn't he make those sneakers?
The shoemaker.
Yeah.
He's got a side gig as a rapper, but
Yeah. I think maybe his wife should get dressed.
well, that's interesting. Interesting in the sense that some people just get away with things other people can't get
That
away
is
with.
true.
I mean, can you imagine if, say, just to pick a name out of a hat, Ryan Reynolds was making his wife dress like that?
I could not imagine that.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I could not imagine. Now, his first wife, not Ryan, the shoemaker, I've known since high school. She is a lovely person.
The fact that you think Kanye is a shoemaker, especially since shoemaker sounds Jewish and he hates the Jews,
Yeah.
but not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way.
No, I talked to him. I tried to talk him out of it.
Did you? That you can't
No.
talk somebody.
Well, he
you
listened.
can't.
No,
He listened.
he's not maliciously evil. He's just he's got, I think, a little on the spectrum stuff going on.
Yeah.
And
No, he
fed
should
some
live in-
bad information.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, doesn't hold opinions that are exactly alien to lots of people in this country.
Right.
You know, there are lots of people who think the Jews are this or are that.
Yes.
And, Jews are successful. And
Jews,
people
you know why? Because everything over the years, and we're talking centuries, the people have tried to take everything away from the Jewish community. What they understand is you can take anything I have except what's in my mind.
That's so Jewy.
Thank you.
But great.
Yeah.
Right. Well, to give you a little perspective on the word that they love to use when they're in their encampments protesting genocide, genocide Joe and genocide this. Okay, even by Hamas's estimate, which is just for a minute, which is their estimate, and they're always full of shit. But okay, even by the worst estimate, the Israelis have killed 2% of the population. Poland.
And you're looking for, what do you think? Tell me a percentage.
I'm just going to finish this.
Okay.
Because I have to.
No.
Because
I'm
why
with
bring
you.
up half the... Okay.
I'm with you.
So 2%. During World War II, or for it and during it, Poland's population of Jews went from like 3 million to 5,000.
Right.
Something like that. I may have those numbers slightly wrong. That's a genocide.
Right.
I'm just talking strictly words have meanings now.
Yes, they do.
Nothing.
Yes.
Not a genocide.
Right.
Even though that side screams it, that's a genocide. We've had it. And lots of people have had a bad run in this country. Nobody, not even black people in America, have had as recent a catastrophe number-wise as have the Jews. That was in the last century.
In physical death.
The Holocaust,
but
in
disrespect.
Disrespect
is
not as bad as
the.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there
fine.
and say physical death has to kind of trump not being respected. As bad as not being respected is.
I disagree. Well, it's not just
Really?
disrespect. It's not just.
You'd rather be dead than disrespected?
Well, here's the thing. I'm not talking about a disrespect in I respect you or I don't. I'm talking about diminishing the ability to live a life.
Yeah.
So-
Again, I got to think not
Death is
allowing,
worse
allowing
than
the
not living.
Right.
But not living up to your capacity because it is not recognized is a terrible thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a competition like who's had it worse, but I'm just saying there was no catastrophe to any ethnic group in the last 100 years worse than the Holocaust.
Right.
I really think it's
And
hard to
here it
refute
is.
that on numbers.
I don't know any Jew
Again, not a
who wants
competition.
to take over somebody else's life. I don't.
As opposed to who?
As opposed to what they say, we're not going to, whatever they were chanting with those tiki torches, looking adorable in their khakis.
See, it's interesting. When you think of Jew haters, you think of the tiki torch people.
Some.
When I think of Jew haters, and I understand those are Jew haters to a degree, when I think of Jew haters, I think of something I think far more virulent,
Okay.
which is the campus protests and the people in this country now who are not just out there chanting for Hamas, a terrorist organization that
Right.
wants to wipe out and avowedly says they want to commit genocide
Right.
on a group of people. That to me is the word. Now, tiki torchers, no, they're not good people. Jews will replace us. They have a screwy idea
Yeah, I
that.
don't want to replace anybody.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I want to
I'm just saying
enjoy.
there are Jew haters on both left and right. I think where we would differ, because I think you're like very like straight up on the left side, is you think the tiki torchers are the worst.
No.
And I think
No, I see them as
campus
the
morons.
surface, and just below that surface is everyone you're talking about.
But the people on campus very often.
It's like a volcano that hasn't broken the shell yet.
Oh, you think that's what's going on with the tiki torchers?
I think they are just the bubbling.
But like Trump, he's their hero. He doesn't hate the Jews. He did more for Israel,
Right.
and I fucking hate him too.
Yeah.
I get it.
Right.
But moving the embassy to Jerusalem, every American president said they would do it. They didn't. That's just a fact. And every nation, every people has the right to have their capital in their capital city.
Right.
What really is there has been a continuous Jewish presence in Jerusalem since like 3000 BC. If it's about who got there first, they're the Indians. So to say that, and his daughter married a Jew, their big hero is not an anti-Semite, and he's rich. He fucks around with lots of billionaire rich types, and many of them are Jews. Business people. Roy Cohen was his hero. Oh, wait, no, that's Roy Cohen. He may not be Jewish. Roy Cohen?
I don't know. I don't know. He was.
But it's C-O-H.
He was. That was hard to even say he
I
was
think
human.
I think he was. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm not that worried about the anti-Semitism, although it exists on that side. I'm worried about the useful idiots who think that Hamas is some sort of trendy, like countercultural group to get behind, fighting the man,
No, that's
fighting
that's
racism.
a good point.
They're fucking morons.
That's a good point. No,
and
I
they're
don't know that they're
dangerous.
morons, but
And they have professors on the campuses
Yes.
who say the most virulent anti-Semitic things,
Right.
who are exhilarated. One of them said at my alma mater by October 7th. He was exhilarated. So, of course, if the professor says it, how can you blame the kids?
Right. Well, that's not giving the kids any responsibility for their own thinking. I think that I think that this country really needs to teach critical thinking once again.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Because it's not, I mean, you see what's going on in the schools. Nothing.
I do.
So your kids are how old?
My children are 53, 43, and 41.
So you can leave them alone.
I can. I do.
I mean,
I'm proud of them.
Oh, so they're full-ass adults.
And they are lovely human beings. And they
So what's
have
it like to
lovely
have,
children.
that's interests me, like, what's it like to have, as your children, people who are now old enough to be the kind of person you would really be a friend with? Because when they're 10, they're not really.
You know what? It is relief. I feel relief.
I mean,
that they are so lovely. I'm proud. I am sometimes just in awe of how responsible they are on this earth.
Well, you've probably taught them that. You should be happy with
Well,
yourself.
I don't know. Whatever it is, they picked up the lesson, the mantle.
That's what it is.
You know, Max said he was going to be a director when I took him to see Bottle Rocket by Wes Anderson. And he kept his word. He is a wonderful director and showrunner.
Does he make movies like Wes Anderson?
When he made his first movie, he dressed in a suit and a tie like Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
We got him for a birthday present an autographed copy of a script from Wes Anderson.
What are some of Wes Anderson's movies?
I just did one called The French Dispatch. He did Bottle Rocket, which was amazing. And he is...
What are some of others? I mean, I feel like I get, there's a few of them that I get kind of confused, like Paul Thomas Anderson.
No, that is a completely different director.
I know it is, and I should know this.
Yeah. And now Paul Anderson's wife is one of my idols.
Why?
Because she's one of the funniest people on the earth.
Is she in show business?
She is in show business.
She was famous?
Yes, she is famous. She was one of the stars of Saturday Night Live.
Why are we playing 20 questions? Who is she?
I'll get back to you on that.
But it must be public knowledge.
It is.
Who is she?
She is. You're putting me on the spot. I'm going to.
Oh, you did that name thing again.
I did.
Oh, I was going to tell you the funniest story.
Yes, go ahead, please.
I'm not gonna,
while I'm looking up her name.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to name the person here, but a huge A-list actor.
Yes.
Saw him at a party. There were some event, something. I've seen him before.
Right.
I like him. Nice guy, great actor, great star. But you can tell when somebody they know they should know you.
Right.
And they even know that they should love you.
Right.
But they really don't. You know, they're doing stuff.
Right.
Okay.
This is at a party.
Okay. And I could see it in his eye, like we're going to have to say hello, but he can't come up with my name. And he just went, my hero.
Yeah. But I want to tell you.
I was like, what a brilliant out.
So embarrassing.
My hero.
It's so embarrassing.
That's me. That's my name. Your hero. I was your hero.
She is my hero. And I am, and I know her. She's in my phone. That's how terrible this is.
I'm going to turn all the cards over.
Yeah.
Lucille Ball.
No.
No? All right. Give it a shot.
However, Happy Days was shot on stage 19 on Lucy's side of the Paramount studio, and it's where she invented the 3-camera format. How about that? That was great.
So when you drove onto that iconic Paramount lot, under that Paramount...
I told my wife, when they said, hello, Mr. Winkler, hello, Mrs. Winkler, I said, do not get used to this, because there's going to come a time when I'm going to have to call to get a drive on.
That's heavy, dude.
It's true.
No, it's very true. And you did?
I did.
To get a drive on because you were auditioning for something?
Auditioning, or I had a meeting. I had to get permission to drive on the lot where I had an office for 14 years, where I did Happy Days and produced MacGyver and Sightings. Had no history.
But that's very wise to be able to foresee that.
Yeah.
And to even say it to your partner.
I did.
And how'd she take it?
She could not.
Bye.
No, it was, you can't believe that is the truth. You know, the first night we went on a date, we saw Walkabout, the Nicholas Roeg movie in Westwood. And I said, it's better if we sit in the back of the theater. She said, why?
Yeah.
I said, I don't know how to explain it to you. Trust me, it's better if we sit in the back of the theater.
She didn't know you were a giant star?
She said, why? And I said, okay. And we sat in the middle of the theater. The entire theater stood up and came over to say hello. And she looked at me and went, oh.
Right. That's what I mean, rock star.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. Even in show business, that doesn't happen a lot. So then, how'd you get out of the theater?
We left during the credits before the lights came up.
Oh,
Then I drove her to, we were going to have, at that time there was a restaurant called Le Restaurant, and we were going to have dessert after the movie. And I'm waving. And she said, "Who are you waving to? You couldn't possibly know that many people." I said, "I don't know who they are. They're waving. I'm waving."
where did this chick grow up? Bulgaria?
No, here in L.A.
I know, but she
Her
seems
dad
to
was
know
my
nothing.
dentist.
She seems to know nothing.
Her dad was my dentist.
But why didn't she know who you were?
You know what? I didn't ask her. I don't know.
to this day?
No, now
So-
she knows.
You know, I know, but like, you never said to her, "Honey, why on our first date?
No.
Why? Why don't you go there?"
Well, I don't want to, and I don't need to.
You think possibly she did know and was faking it?
You know what? I don't know that to be true. She certainly knew because I was a candle. She went out and bought me as a candle and put me on my kid and her kid's cake.
Henry, I heard this.
Jed.
I've heard this from so many chicks. I was on a plane. I didn't know who he was. Yes, you did.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of people I never know. I just went to see, wait a minute, Paul Michael Anderson, right?
Oh my God, you're still looking that
Oh,
up.
this is killing me, Bill. This is killing
You're
me.
as bad as with technology as I am.
I need to know.
You know,
Paul Michael, yeah.
when I get out of my
Paul
car,
Thomas Anderson. Here we go.
when I get out of my car,
Yes, I'm listening.
sometimes the car says to me,
Yes.
"You've left your phone," which I didn't.
Right.
It's because I have a iPod connected there and it
Right.
thinks it's my phone.
Right.
And I just want to say technology brings out in me something that never happens in real life. I'm really quite even-tempered. I don't yell at people.
Right.
And when my car says you left your phone, I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Really.
I did not leave my phone. And
Right.
I don't talk that way to people.
Oh, here we go. Wait a minute. This has got to tell me.
Oh my God.
I know.
Say.
I'm listening to every word.
No.
And I'm sorry that your car is so annoying.
No, I want to get back to your first date.
Okay.
That fascinates
All right.
me. Because I got to say,
How does it tell me every single thing
You-
about this man and not his wife's name? I hope she is not listening.
Google wife,
Google wife.
Google his name plus wife.
Oh God, that's so good.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
wait a minute.
Oh, I found someone dumber with technology than me.
I'm telling
Thank
you.
you, Jesus.
Well, I'm so happy that you said that. Wife. I can actually spell that word.
Yeah. But, you know, we're all just humans with
Yes.
lizard brains.
No. I'm
Wait,
with
wait,
you.
wait, you don't even know where I'm going
No,
with
I
this.
don't.
No.
I have a lizard brain.
Okay, wait.
I'm with
And
you.
your wife does.
My wife is a lizard?
No, she has a lizard brain like
Lizard
we all
brain.
do.
Okay.
I'm just saying, when you're with a guy on a date, like there's certain things that go on that excite the lizard brain in the woman.
Right.
And there's certain things.
What do you think that is?
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Oh.
There's certain things that give her the ick. You
Yeah.
know what the ick is?
No,
What?
I don't.
I love it when I feel like I'm in a scene with you
Thank
because
you.
your timing is so good.
Thank
you know,
you.
you hit that ball right
I
back.
swear to
right
God,
back
I don't know
over
what
the net.
ick is.
The-
Unless it's
okay,
icky.
Okay, the ick, it comes from that. The ick is something that a
Would
man.
somebody in the back room tell me what this man's wife's name is?
No, there's no one in the world but us.
Okay.
The ick is when a man, usually
Yes,
a man,
yes.
anyone can do it, but it's usually a
Yes.
man, does something so icky that the woman is permanently turned off.
Oh,
Like if he's mean to the waitress.
yes.
Something
That's
like
horrible.
that. If he pays with a coupon.
Right.
It's just the ick.
Maya Rudolph.
Okay. Victory. The eagle has landed.
Okay, now
I-
I'm with you. I'm back 100%
Okay, great.
in this room.
Okay. So Maya Rudolph, very talented.
Oh my God. I think she's one of the funniest people
Yeah, she is
on the
great.
planet. She just is.
Anyway, the ick, that's the ick. The
Okay.
opposite of the ick
Yeah.
is something that wettens panties.
Right.
And that could be,
Being nice to the waitress.
that could do it, yes. That's things like that, listening. Oh, I mean, women are...
Do you know, Bill Maher, when you have wet a girl's panties without seeing her panties?
I think at this point in my life, I have a good idea.
You do.
And I'm just saying, if I sat down in a movie theater and everybody started to get close to me, my panties would get wet.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying it's a panty wettener.
Okay.
It just says, this is an alpha.
Right. Right.
Just saying
I'm an
that-
alpha pretty
I'm
much
just-
everywhere except my house.
I'm just saying, why go the one place where you don't? No, I'm kidding. But that must have been exciting for her.
I guess. She married me.
Right. How soon
3
after
beautiful
that was?
children. We have 6 and 15, 16.
So how long after that date
Oh,
did you get
I
married?
would say it was a little more than a year. We
And were you-
dated. We lived together, and
Oh.
that was big because she brought her son.
Were you exclusive at the time?
with
From
her?
the moment you met her?
Yes, I was. Not from the moment I met her, but eventually totally exclusive.
Not from the moment you met her.
No.
I love it.
Yeah,
So
that
how
would
long?
be a liar. I was dating her, and we were
and you
not
were dating
exclusive,
some other
and
yeah.
then we were exclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
And then her son, who was 4,
Look.
is now 53, and my son.
We're all playing a version of The Bachelor.
Right.
And there was a time you met her and you were giving out roses and you gave out fewer and fewer until you just wanted to give her the rose.
That's right. I gave her the dozen.
So what'd you say to the chicks that you let off?
Oh, that's a good question. You know what? I don't know that I ever made that phone call. I don't
you
think
just
I ever.
faded? You just faded away?
I faded.
Oh,
I think I did.
That's low.
What should I write them now?
No.
Should
I would definitely do that.
You
Yeah,
would?
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm so 50 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm so
you know
sorry
what? I should have said
that
something.
I was an asshole.
I
But
sh-
you know what? I started therapy about 9 years ago with this incredible doctor. And if I were to give her a present, I would have to give her the size of a skyscraper. And I am a different human being. I was closed off from my emotionality before that.
I feel the same way about pot.
Mm-hmm. Pot
But-
opens you up?
Well, apparently.
Yeah.
But what? But
Do
that's
you smoke every day?
no,
No.
never have.
No.
Doesn't work as good if you do.
No, that's true. You know, I smoked in drama school, and it was amazing. My first time was with Peter Covette, who unfortunately is no longer with us. But we then went to a rehearsal of Coriolanus. And Harris Yulin was the head of the Volscian army. And Stacy Keach was his enemy. And we had swords and a sword fight. And I smoked before the
Oh.
audition.
What?
And I hit Stacy Keach on the head.
Oh.
And I ran off stage and hid behind the scenery. And he came running off. Who the fuck hit me on the head? I never told him until today. If he's listening, I was the one.
And then you're gonna get together with all these women who you should have.
I don't think
called
I'm
at
going
the
to
ti-
get together. I don't think. I think maybe I'm going to use your podcast to say we
Right.
don't see each other anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right, like a civil suit,
And
that-
I hope you've had a good life.
like a class action.
Yeah.
You're
Bring them
saying,
all. Yeah.
you're
say it
saying to all
all
the
at
women
once.
that I was seeing
Yes.
because I was a big star who they. But do you think it made you more attracted to your wife that she wasn't impressed by you?
Do you know what? I will say that there is a thing where you don't know why the young lady is with you. You don't know whether it is because you are a star,
Right.
because you're on television. Do
Right.
they like me?
Right.
And with Stacy, I was pretty sure it was the human being first.
That's profound because, and it's certainly something I relate to.
I totally get it.
Very much so.
I totally get it.
You know, but look, there's a lot of bad, shitty things about getting older. But one of the great things about it is you're not, as we were saying before, young and fucking stupid. So you can see that a mile away.
Right.
Like, no one can fool me on that.
Right.
And I don't even hold it against you.
Right.
If that's who you are.
Right.
But don't
I
insult
see
my...
you, and we're moving on.
Right. And don't insult my intelligence to think that I don't see it. And it's
Right.
okay.
Right.
We all got to make a living.
Right.
You know, I tell the gardener every time he's here, don't kill the groundhogs. You know, I have groundhogs.
You do.
And they ruin the lawn.
Yeah.
But I'm like, everybody's got to make a living.
Wow. No, I don't know if I could be that big
With the groundhogs?
with the groundhog or the mole.
I think they're the same thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway.
Well, the mole is blind. The groundhog, I think, can see. But I will tell you,
Well-
I toured with this book in Australia, and I met a meerkat, and it was thrilling.
What's a meerkat?
A meerkat, I'll show you a picture.
No. They can't see
You don't
it.
wanna see a
Just
picture.
describe it.
They are...
They're listening.
They stand up on, and they see everything, and they are this high, and they stand on your head.
You're talking about an animal.
I'm talking about an animal.
How big?
I would say they are a foot or a little more tall.
Is it a
when
type
they're-
of cat?
It is no. It is not. It is.
Oh, the cat is misleading.
It's like, yes, the mere. I think the cat.
Is it a meerkat?
It's called a meerkat.
No, but I'm
No,
saying,
it's not just
is it a meerkat?
No, it is not a meerkat. It is the most
But that would be
adorable
funny.
animal.
What's a meerkat?
Yes, a
If
meerkat.
it was a cat that was like
Just mere.
this- exactly.
Just
so,
mere.
so unimpressive
Really?
that people called it
Well, I'm not crazy
a
about cats.
meerkat.
I am not crazy about cats.
I
I
am
am a
not
dog
either.
person.
You know what? I've always said this. I'll say it again. Cats as a pet only make sense in a world without dogs.
Yeah. You mean if there were no dogs at all,
Then I'd go
then
for
you would have to have a cat
right.
to have
That's,
something.
if that's the best you could do.
Yeah.
But if you could find something that smothers you in love versus somebody who looks at you, you know, with the
They watch air move.
disinterested sneer of a
Yeah.
supermodel.
True. True. My first job out of drama school was I babysat 2 Siamese cats who were bald.
Black guys?
They,
Oh, cats. You mean
Cats.
like actual
yeah,
cats?
Siamese cats.
Okay.
Yeah. And and they were bald because all of their hair was on my clothing. It was horrific.
But did you answer my question
No,
about
I did not answer.
yeah, it's so hard to know, but I guess after 46 years, that I think the jury's in,
The jury's in.
that you went through good times, you went through bad
Yeah.
times,
You do.
and the same person was there,
Yes.
and you know.
Every time I had a major crisis, Stacy was the first to be the support system,
Yeah.
and in the worst of times.
Yeah, I've heard people say to me, like, when you get sick, you're going to want someone there. And I always say, when I'm sick, it's the least thing in the world I
You don't
want.
know that, Bill. You
I don't
don't know
want
that.
someone there.
Okay, you don't know that because the fact of the matter is, it might be so lonely and so fear
I don't want,
producing.
no, I know me.
Oh yeah,
don't,
but that's true.
I don't like people to see me when
Okay.
I'm not at my best.
Okay.
It's like there are times when you're not at your best. Like, why inflict it on anybody else?
I don't see that it's inflicting, but I
Yeah.
understand you feel that way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, if I was sick, I want to be taken care of.
Right,
But like, I can't really offer anything, and I can't pretend we're really having a good time.
right,
You know, I'm not a good pretender.
right. Okay,
I'm not a pretender.
okay.
So like, if I got the tube,
know,
if I got the tube in me, don't tell me I look sexy.
Right.
It's just
But
not.
what happens if that's not the only thing that someone who is there is going to say to you? That they're not necessarily going to say, it all depends on whether you're sexy or not. They are
No, but-
loving you and they want you to be comfortable. I want to make you comfortable. I will tell you, I have tickets to the Philharmonic 5 times in the season.
Wow.
We go Saturday afternoon
Wow.
when we're not traveling. And it's uplifting. It is, I think everybody should go to a symphony hall, but be that as it may. I'm not kidding.
You and I are
It transforms you, Bill.
we are so different.
But you've got to go there to know what I'm talking about. Okay.
I'm not going.
On the way, very good friends,
On
Frank
the
and
way.
Lynn, we were talking about at the end of life, do you want to be resuscitated? And we all said, no, except when I have witnessed a few people at the end of their life and the will to live, the will to hang on is so much stronger than when you are fully in your brain and you say, no, I don't want to be, don't resuscitate me.
There's nothing stronger than the will to live.
Nothing.
Which is why suicide is so funny.
Yeah.
Not funny in
Funny.
a funny
No,
way,
no,
but
no.
like
Why-
funny
it's
weird.
It's so,
It's so strange.
Yes.
Because
it's so,
it's so against the primal
Yes.
urge.
but can you imagine
I mean-
where the pain must be that someone can actually do
Well,
it?
do you remember the joke Woody Allen quotes in Annie Hall, where he talks about where he says, there's these 2 Jewish women.
Yes.
And they're eating the dinner that they've been
Yes.
given, probably in the Catskills.
Yes.
And they keep complaining about everything, like, oh my God, it was cold, and the noodles weren't right,
Right.
and this wasn't right. And the other one says, yes, and the portions were so small. It's like, and he's like, makes the analogy, this is life,
Yeah.
We do nothing but complain, but we want more of it.
Right.
And we do. You just,
Well, I have to say, at this moment, I am so grateful to be on this earth.
yeah, you should be. I mean, you're vital at 79. A lot of people aren't even alive,
Right.
let alone working
Right.
and not, again, presenting as that age, which is great. That's about as good as you can do.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah. But it is sobering
It's sobering.
to have and feel the breath of death on your neck. It's not
I feel
like
it on
you-
my knees. I am not kidding. When I take the dogs down at about 10 o'clock at night in order for them to go to the bathroom, you hear me walk down
Bathroom?
16, yeah, well,
Why-
to go outside.
Why'd you have a doggy door?
Well, we do, but that's locked
Why?
because it's so scary
What
at this
is?
moment in history.
You locked the doggy door?
We do.
What do you think? The
Yes, I
What do you
do.
think, J.D. Vance is going to crawl through your
You know
house
what?
and kill you on the couch?
He could fit. And I don't want him near my
wait,
couch.
What are you afraid of crawling through the doggy door?
I don't know, but I don't want to talk about it. It's too scary. But anyway, the point of it is there are 16 stairs to go down, and you hear, oh, for 16 stairs.
Which is?
My knees.
Oh, I see you're saying that.
I'm saying that because it is shocking.
I don't lock the doggy door.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
You
solutions.
cannot convince me not to lock the doggy door.
Yeah, I can't believe you think that anything.
When I get home tonight, when I get home after this wonderful chat, I'm locking that doggy door.
But whatever's out there that's going to crawl through the doggy door and get you, wouldn't it get you when you're taking the dogs for the walk at 10 o'clock at night?
I don't think in the same terms. And I feel pretty confident.
Okay. Well, you do that, and I will not poison the moles in my lawn.
Thank you.
People have to live underground. Look at
Yeah.
Hamas.
Yeah. Oh my God. We're back to that.
I just thought I would do one,
Yes, and
one
you-
callback.
Very
please.
good. You wove it back in. The weave.
I worked on
The weave.
I worked on sitcoms too.
You do.
I did 3 sitcoms.
What did you do?
I did a show called Sarah in 1985 with Gina Davis and Alfre Woodard and Bronson Pinchot.
Unbelievable. Alfre
Gary
Woodard
David
was so
Goldberg. I'm
good.
sure you remember.
He was a friend of mine.
Okay, well, that was his show.
Amazing.
Big show.
Big. What a writer he was.
Yeah, it was on in between Family Ties, which was...
His wife, Diana, started a school, the Archer School.
Oh, I see. You didn't have to look her up.
No, I did not. And I'm going to tell you, I'm grateful that I didn't remember Maya Rudolph's name is going to haunt me now for months.
Let yourself off the hook.
I want to.
You know what?
It's not possible. I'm a short Jew.
Disc full. I mean, there's only so many places.
Can I change the disc?
You know what? You're my hero. Okay, just use that. When you see her, go,
I swear to
you're
God.
my hero.
But I have said that to her. The last time I saw her, she was having a meal with her children, beautiful children. But the time before that was, I love music, but I can't make music. But I saw Brandy Carlisle live, which is something everybody should do.
Again, you're always suggesting these things I'm not going to do.
Is that true? You don't go to concerts?
I don't go to concerts.
Oh, wow.
But if I did, no knock against her,
Have
but
you
it
ever
probably
seen
wouldn't
Bruce live?
start with what?
Have you ever seen Bruce?
Bruce Springsteen? No.
No.
4 hours, can't do it.
No, you could.
Too old, have to pee.
No, you could.
No, sorry.
No, you could pee and he's still going. You would not miss a thing if you go to pee, but he is like magical.
Oh, I'm sure.
Louis Cabaldi, I'd like to meet him.
Who's that?
Louis Cabaldi is an English singer who's got Tourette's. And if he has an attack in the middle of his concert, the audience keeps singing the song so that when he comes out of it, he'll know exactly where he is.
What are you trying to get a GLAAD award or something?
No. No, I'm telling you the truth. It's something. I know. But I love, and Bruno Mars. If you ever see Bruno Mars?
No, but I was at his club.
Oh,
where
Bruno
you would
Mars.
never go in Vegas. It's not a
strip club.
Strip club. It's a club.
Did you
club.
ever meet him?
It's awesome. It's called Pinky or something.
No
I only
kidding.
went once. Forgive me, I'm a little stoned. I forget the name.
No.
But you could look it up. Bruno Mars has a club. It's got an amazing band. It's got an old school feel.
Yeah.
It's great. I know I'm doing it.
He is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
He plays every instrument. And we saw him at the Bowl, and he said something that just like he said 5 years ago. I was down La Brea at a pub singing for 15 people.
Really?
And here I am, and this place is sold out.
I saw Billy Joel.
Billy Joel.
At the Unicorn.
Wow.
Which was a little coffee house in Ithaca, New York, when I was in college.
Wow. Now here's a great thing. Billy Joel, I met him, and he said, "My mom loves you," and I sent her an autographed picture.
You Jews really stick together.
We do. But, oh my God, is he unbelievable?
Oh.
I love people who make music.
Look, I probably am going to get in trouble with some people for saying this, but the American lyricists in pop music are better than the ones from, let's just say, other countries.
Okay.
In my opinion. I'm talking about Billy Joel.
Right.
I'm talking about Bob Dylan.
Elton.
No, that's another country.
Oh, that's another country.
And he didn't write his own lyrics.
Bernie.
And that's my point.
Okay.
The lyrics, they're not horrible, but they're not on the level of...
Are you saying Bernie did not write... wait, are you saying he did not write great lyrics?
Let me say what I was going to say.
Absolutely, I'm going to stop now.
Okay. There are lyrics that work with the music.
Yes.
Without the music, if you had just read them, you wouldn't be that impressed.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Rocket Man, it's called...
That's one song.
It's called
That's
Cold
one
as
song.
Hell. It's just, you
Did you ever hear the last song? Did you ever hear the song called The Last Song? It's on the album One. It is the last song. And it is a son talking to his father.
Who wrote that?
Finally, Bernie and Elton.
Okay, well, not Elton, just Bernie.
Just Bernie.
Elton never wrote a lyric. Okay, so, that's my opinion. I really think I could back it up in a literature course.
Yes.
But Paul Simon Billy Joel,
Yes.
Jackson Brown,
Yes.
Bob Dylan.
Brandy Carlisle.
That may be true.
Oh my God.
And
Her
people would,
songs are
people would probably also say Joni Mitchell.
Joni Mitchell.
But I don't know her work that well because the music didn't make me want to listen to the lyrics.
Got it.
And if the music doesn't work, then
All right. All right.
so we're leaving.
I have a great Joni Mitchell story.
But I just feel like Billy Joel's lyrics. You ever hear "Angry Young Man"?
Yes.
I mean, that's an opus. A lot of them are.
They are amazing.
And they're just on a level of
Yes.
poetry that lives without the music.
Yes.
That
I agree with you 100%.
I'm sorry, but a lot of the Beatles stuff does not live without the music.
Somebody on
Hello,
Twitter
goodbye,
today.
goodbye, hello.
Somebody
you say
today
yes, I say no.
on-
It's just not.
All right.
It's just not something that live. I love the song. Don't make me pretend the lyrics or anything.
Right. I understand. Okay. I'm with you.
So that's my thing on
But today
Billy.
on Twitter, somebody said, do you really like the Beatles or do you like them because you're supposed to?
Well, that's not a hard question for me to answer.
No. I met all of the Beatles except George.
Ah,
Yeah, I was very, when John Lennon came to the set of Happy Days with
He
his
did?
9-year-old son, Julian.
holy fuck! When really in the 70s?
I have one of my
Obviously.
favorite pictures of all time that I have.
So was this during the Lost Weekend when he was living out here?
I don't know what he was.
Like
completely,
73?
Yeah. No, it was a little later. A little later than that. But he came with his son, Julian, and he was very shy. And I could not get him into a conversation until I talked to him about the song Mother,
Yeah.
which was the Primal Scream
Sure.
on his solo
Right,
album.
yes.
And he opened like a garden.
Really?
Oh, my God.
And what did he say?
That it was so important to him that, you actually heard it. It was not the most popular song on that album.
Do you know who covered that song?
No.
Streisand.
Wow.
You should listen to that.
Okay.
Barbara Streisand did Mother
Okay.
because she had issues with her
Yes,
mother.
she did.
And so but I mean, both of them are very powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great album. I mean, he also had the song God. God is a concept by which we measure our pain. One of the best lines he ever wrote.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes through that long litany, I don't believe in, and he mentions like 20, I don't believe in Dylan, I don't believe in Buddha, I don't believe, it mentions all the gods, and at the end is, I don't believe in Beatles,
Wow.
I just believe in me, Yoko and me,
Wow.
and that's reality.
Wow.
It was like his message to the fans.
Yes.
And then there's a great melody part after the dream is over. What can I say? The dream is over yesterday. And it's like, you have all the old records, but the fucking Beatle thing is done.
Right, right,
Get
right.
on with your lives.
Right.
It's the 70s now. It was a really gutsy and also considerate thing to do, I thought,
Mm-hmm.
to the fan, to himself and
That's
to the
right.
fans. Just
But how revealing, just
Very.
what you said.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that's great that you had that moment. with him.
I'm telling you. I met Paul on Lexington Avenue. He went, the Fonz. And then,
Really?
I swear to God. And then I've told this story before, he gave me his number.
Wow.
He said, we should get together.
Wow.
And I called him like an asshole. But I
Oh.
called him every 10 minutes because it never picked up. And then, so if he's listening,
That's what
he could call me back. I'm an okay guy.
I could name a couple of stars who that happened with me. You're like, there are some people who are, you see why they're so popular because like when they're with you, they just turn it on.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like the only one and they love you. And then you realize they do it with everybody.
Yeah.
It's just,
But it's still a skill.
it's still a skill.
It's still a skill.
Right.
To be
right.
respectful and to be present in the moment.
Well, but I mean, when we use the word charming,
Yeah.
what do we really mean? We probably mean somebody really likes us. They're interested in us.
Right.
Who's a bore? A bore is someone who talks about themselves. A charming person is someone talking about you.
Right. Right.
What a charmer. Yeah, because he was like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah. Or
you-
he told a good story.
you know who's like that? Who everyone says was like that? And I found like that
No.
before he was president? Trump.
Really.
Yes. Everyone who ever met him says that.
Mm-hmm.
He had that thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you didn't think he was the asshole he became in
Right.
office. He was
Right.
like this guy who was like, oh, interested in you and looking at you and talking to you and complimenting you. Don King used to do it. You know,
Oh, wow.
You're the greatest American.
Right.
Like, there are people who just
He
like
should have combed his
make
hair.
make you feel like $1 million
Right.
in 2 minutes.
Right.
It's just their skill. And then you realize it's just a magic trick they do on everybody.
Right. But it's not necessarily a magic trick, because sometimes it is really fun to see who is in front of you and experience them for as long as you're together.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
No. I never think you are.
No.
I take you completely at your
Thank
word.
you.
I forget why we were talking about that.
I don't know why.
It was important to
Yeah.
me, though. It was important to me.
It'll come to you, like
No.
Maya Rudolph came to me.
Well, came to you are strong words. Said you were on your phone for 20 minutes.
I was.
think-
Not 20,
I mean-
but I was. I couldn't stop until I found
I mean,
the woman
I know.
I adore.
I know.
I could not find her name
But you
in my mind.
personally called the NSA. I felt that was a little over the top.
Yeah, if I only knew.
Yeah, they probably are monitoring you because you're a big radical.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to release you back into the wild so I
What
can.
a pleasure this was.
Yeah.
I
knew it would be.
I don't know how long we've been chatting.
I don't either.
That's an amazing thing.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
You have that with your wife still?
I do.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me that you can have it after so many years.
You
that
know
you
what?
don't
It's
run out
also,
of conversation.
No, but that is the humanness of the relationship.
But you, like you said earlier, that when you do a theatrical piece, you're doing it for 9 months. You're still finding new
Yes.
things.
Right.
To me, there is an analogy there with marriage, because I know Yul Brynner, for example, did 3,000
Oh my God.
performances of The King and I.
Oh my.
You mean he was still finding new things?
You know what? There comes a moment.
Or you think one night he just said, I'd love to do Fiddler on the Roof.
You know what? I bet that's true.
But that's kind of like in a marriage.
He was
analogy.
great in The Magnificent Seven.
Yul Brynner?
Yeah.
Oh, I know somebody who knew him quite well. He was like everything you think, like a badass.
Really.
You know, like, let's just say women were, he was not Now's Man of the Year.
Right. Wow, I did not know that.
Oh, well, he
But-
was just a very macho guy
But can I just say,
who
that-
women could not resist
wow,
and smoked himself to death.
really?
Yeah, Yul Brynner? Yeah.
I didn't know that. I think that eventually doing that musical was not discovering something new, it was keeping him alive. You don't do something 3,000 times and still discover. You do it because it is keeping you in the forefront, giving you a living.
Yes, giving you a living.
Like that.
also.
Like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I think Tevye did 3,000 performances of Fiddler.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
and
was a-
also,
Zero Mostel or
no, I think
the
Tevye.
the
I
guy?
don't think Zero.
Tevye is the name of the character.
Oh,
So you're talking about the
oh,
guy
maybe
from
Zero.
Israel.
Yes, Zero.
hmm
Um,
But oh my God.
and
there was
also
nobody like
Matthew
him.
Broderick and
Nathan Lane,
Nathan
and
Lane
the producers.
did producers for like a crazy long time.
Right.
And that-
Nathan Lane has the ability to make moments in between moments. He literally, when he says a joke, he can find another moment before he starts his next line. He's an amazement.
yeah, I saw him in, I don't go to a lot of shows, but I saw him on one called November,
Mm-hmm.
written by Mamet.
David, yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't think of Mamet as the kind of playwright where it's like laugh a minute,
No.
and he is.
Yeah.
At least in that one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a straight up funny
No,
comedy
he-
with a lot of political.
Overtones.
Yeah. Oh, it's about politics. It's
Yeah.
about an election and a politician. And that was Nathan Lane. And I was impressed.
I'm telling you, there are far and few between like
Yeah,
that.
he's a real throwback to the stage actor.
Yes.
He does, he's famous enough from work in television or
Yes.
movies, but he is, you kind of have to see him live
Yes,
to
that's true.
appreciate the full.
Can I thank you
greatness.
for inviting me here?
Yeah. Oh, I wanting to make it happen for the longest time.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like one of those people who, like, I'm always all around, and I'm sure we've seen each other at parties, but
We
I never
have.
got to talk.
We saw each other at a wedding, I believe, not too long ago. Maybe it was Carol Leifer.
Oh, yes. Yes. Carol Leifer, one
Yeah.
of my greatest, oldest friends from the club days in New York.
Really, she went to the clubs.
Yeah, she was a comedian that
Great.
we all started with.
Yeah, she is great.
I mean, she married her first husband,
Yeah.
her first spouse.
Right,
Okay,
her first spouse. Yeah,
was a great friend of ours, a comedian, Rich. Like in 1980, they got married or something
Wow.
like that. Yeah.
yeah. I
It's like-
love her. I did a show.
Everybody
where we
wanted
traveled
to-
around the world, and Better Late Than Never, and she was the writer who would watch the interviews and everything, and then run in and give you a line from what she just heard. That was like,
She's the model for Elaine on
oh, no kidding.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Sure.
I didn't know that.
The funny female friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Carol.
Wow.
All right.
What a-
well, I'm sure we'll see each other again.
I hope so.
Club Random.
Can I give you a hug?
You can give me a blowjob.
No,
a
I won't do
hug.
that. But I'll give you a hug.
Club Random.